Xiaowei Wang, Blockchain Chicken Farm, and Other Stories of Tech in China's Countryside. Embark on a journey through rural China and explore the transformative power of technology in the countryside with Blockchain Chicken Farm and Other Stories of Tech in China's Countryside by Xiaowei Wang. The book takes readers beyond the bustling cities and delves into the lesser-known side of the country, where tradition and innovation intersect. Learn about the complex relationships between urban and rural communities and how new technologies play a vital role in overcoming challenges like food safety, education, and economic disparity. Discover the innovative approaches to agriculture, manufacturing, and online commerce that shape modern China and redefine the potential of rural development.
Urban-rural synergy shapes China. Every year, millions of people across China participate in Chunyun, or the Spring Festival, returning to their Laojia, their ancestral homes in the countryside. The importance of rural China extends beyond these migrations, as it has significantly contributed to the nation's economic, political, and social development. Mao Zedong and the Chinese Communist Party initially rallied the extensive peasant population to take power in 1949. The Great Leap Forward saw the state rely heavily on rural communities, attempting to boost agricultural production, though this resulted in widespread famine. However, the rise of small rural businesses or town and village enterprises, TVEs, in the 80s and 90s became a driving force behind China's economic boom, contributing to a quarter of the nation's GDP by 1995. Currently, while many young people seek work in large cities, 40% of the population still resides in the countryside. To maintain the vitality of these rural regions, the government plans to continue agricultural industrialization and expand IT infrastructure. Ultimately, China's success arises from the harmonious relationship between urban and rural landscapes. Revolutionizing food safety. Throughout history, China has been a pioneer of many incredible innovations. Today, they are tackling food safety, a critical challenge faced by the country, which has 22% of the world's population but only 7% of Earth's arable land. China's largely decentralized agricultural industry makes ensuring safety standards an uphill task. However, a new solution has emerged in the form of Gogo Chicken, the world's first blockchain chicken farm situated in the remote village of Shanzhai, Guizhou. The blockchain technology used by Gogo Chicken allows transparency and traceability, ensuring each chicken's data is authentic and reliable. Consumers purchasing the high-quality, free-range chickens can confidently trust they are getting exactly what they're paying for. With the Chinese government and entrepreneurs continuously experimenting and innovating, blockchain technology may hold the key to improving food safety on a large scale across the nation. Rural China's online learning revolution. Sun Wei, born in rural China with only a vocational high school education, tapped into online education to become a licensed drone operator. Inspired by his passion for model planes, Wei pursued online classes and training, eventually finding a new career in precision agriculture, an industry that digitally maps small farms and uses human-piloted drones for targeted delivery of pesticides and fertilizers. XAG, a leading company in this field, trains rural residents like Wei, providing them with previously unattainable income and opportunities. However, a divide persists, as high-paying roles within XAG, such as programmers and business administrators, are filled by city dwellers with prestigious credentials. In order to increase access to education for rural residents, China has introduced online learning initiatives. One notable example, an elite urban high school began live streaming classes to rural students in Yunnan and Guangxi. While initial progress was slow due to poor internet infrastructure and family obligations, the program eventually led to 88 rural students being accepted into top-tier universities. While it is unclear if this success can be replicated on a larger scale, the promise of online learning in transforming rural China remains. Innovation in China's Shanzhai. The view of China as a producer of cheap knockoffs and imitation goods may be an outdated one, as the country's technology sector demonstrates a capacity for innovation through sharing and repurposing existing ideas. The concept of Shanzhai, once just a derogatory term for pirated goods, has evolved into a form of innovation where small-scale companies and creative engineers work together, sharing ideas and resources to create a wide array of new devices. This transformation can be seen in the thriving Huiqiangbai electronics market, where countless entrepreneurs showcased their resourceful Shanzhai innovations, proving that China's culture of adaptability and collaboration is an innovative force to be reckoned with. China experienced a remarkable economic boom in the 1990s, as its industrializing cities became renowned for cheap commodities intended for Western markets. However, this reputation for low-quality products overshadowed the country's potential for technological advancement. The term Shanzhai signifies pirated goods in Chinese culture, with the word literally meaning mountain stronghold. Rural mountain villages were known to build thriving economies around counterfeit items, often disregarding intellectual property rights. Despite its negative connotations, Shanzhai has evolved to represent much more than just cheap knockoffs. By adapting and repurposing existing ideas, a new kind of innovation emerges, one that encourages sharing and creativity within limited resources. In the Huiqiangbai electronics market, this ingenuity is apparent as numerous small businesses create a diverse range of products, including 3D printers and modular cell phones. This shift in thinking challenges the long-standing belief that China lacks the ability to generate new technologies and ideas, struggling to keep up with the likes of Silicon Valley. Instead, China's unique system of collaboration, resourcefulness, and originality is proving itself as a powerful force in the world of innovation. China's flawed surveillance state. We live in a world where countless tidbits of personal information are scattered across databases. Among nations striving to centralize and analyze such data, China stands out, notorious for its surveillance state. Yet, contrary to popular belief, China's surveillance machine is far from flawless. Cities like Guiyang, as they attempt to catalog their residents, struggle to keep up with ever-changing populations. Moreover, companies like Face++, which provide facial recognition software, often fall short of effectiveness. Apart from these practical issues, ethical concerns arise as well, with the majority of these surveillance programs targeting poor and minority communities. They perpetuate lopsided crime statistics, further stigmatizing these populations. As a result, wrongly targeted individuals face lifelong repercussions, no matter how much they may change or grow. E-commerce uniting rural China. Welcome to Shangdaiping, a small village of 900 people tucked away in Guizhou province's mountainous terrain. With the construction of a paved road in 2018, this village's ancient serenity now intertwines with the modern world, witnessing farm animals and an internet cafe coexisting harmoniously. This transformation is a reflection of China's efforts to bring its rural communities into the global economy, and e-commerce plays an integral role. Over the past few decades, China has become a major global economic powerhouse. However, this vigorous growth hasn't affected the lives of those in remote villages who relied on subsistence farming or migrated to cities for employment opportunities. Enter Alibaba, the e-commerce behemoth, and its website Taobao.com, an influential shopping platform. In 2013, Alibaba launched the Rural Taobao strategy, intending to turn rural communities into thriving online commerce hubs. The initiative began with the establishment of rural Taobao service centers, which assisted villagers in purchasing goods from Taobao.com. Alibaba then sent officials to instruct locals on selling products through the platform. Consequently, Taobao villages emerged, communities with over 10% of households manufacturing items to sell on Taobao.com. These villagers sold everything, from locally grown produce to traditional handicrafts and intricate Shanzhai products. By 2018, over 3,000 Taobao villages span 24 Chinese provinces. While this system seems mutually beneficial for Taobao and the villagers, the outcomes are not entirely positive. The surge of income has improved local living standards, but the strain of balancing traditional farming with Taobao sales takes a toll on families. Additionally, unregulated manufacturing can damage local ecosystems. Despite these challenges, the Taobao system's prominent growth is projected to continue, connecting China's rural communities to the wider economy through the powerful conduit of e-commerce. China's Peppa Pig phenomenon. The cartoon character Peppa Pig has a different persona on the Chinese internet, representing the anxieties and ambitions of China's disillusioned youth known as Xiaowei. Although the Chinese dream encourages hard work and a stable life, many struggle with a lack of opportunities and socio-economic inequalities. As a result, these youths turn to internet culture on platforms like TikTok or Kuaishou, leveraging their presence for online entrepreneurship. While this connects them both economically and socially, the government perceives it as a possible source of economic and social unrest. In China, the character Peppa Pig symbolizes more than just a friendly pig to its younger generation. Unlike her British counterpart, Chinese Peppa wears dark sunglasses, smokes cigarettes, and embodies a sense of disillusionment. Why? Because in China, Peppa Pig has become a meme used by the Xiaowei, meaning society person, a term that captures the emotions and ambitions of the country's marginalized youth. China's youth grapple with the challenges of a rapidly changing society, where just a few have reaped the benefits of exponential growth, while many others find themselves left behind. Faced with unequal access to opportunities and economic disparities, the Chinese dream of a stable, successful life feels unattainable for those youths. Consequently, they turn to Xiaowei culture for self-expression and a search for meaning. Platforms such as TikTok and Kuaishou have become a virtual haven for these young individuals, where they channel their anxieties, vent their frustrations, and experiment with alternative ways of making a living. By hosting live streams or building a fan base for their relatable rants and anecdotes, they forge connections and tap into the economic opportunities of virtual entrepreneurialism. While this online community has created an adaptive environment for China's disillusioned youth, it poses a potential threat to the stability of the nation's social and economic order. The Chinese government is increasingly wary of the impact of Xiaowei culture, evidenced by its censorship of nihilistic Peppa Pig memes in 2017. However, until the country's youth can envision stable futures for themselves, feelings of discontent will continue to shape their collective experience.
In conclusion, Blockchain Chicken Farm presents a fascinating glimpse into the complex, ever-evolving relationships between urban and rural China. Xiaowei Wang demonstrates how technologies such as blockchain, online learning, and e-commerce are revolutionizing the ways rural communities interact with the global economy and adapt to modern challenges. However, the book also raises important ethical questions about surveillance and the increasing pressures faced by young Chinese in an uncertain world. As technology continues to shape the future of China's countryside, it is important to remember the implications these advancements have on the lives of millions and the balance between tradition and progress.